Yeah, right now we're here at the lake. You can see what is left of the plane. I just spoke with Sergeant Bird. He tells me, you know, when it happens out here, the thing is there's a lot of debris and it's a rural area. And I'm actually going to take a walk so you guys can see we're on a beach right now. Lots of sticks, lots of thorns. And the plane landed in this water at around 4 p.m. Now, Sergeant Bird tells me this could have been a very different story had the water been colder. There could have been issues with hypothermia. But both the people who were in the plane, it was 2 males, he said. Both of them were transferred to Waynesville EMS. They've already been released, so they are okay. Right now, they're still working on this investigation, coming up with some of the paperwork. But what I do know, I asked him where were they going and where were they trying to go. He said, right now, we don't have those answers, but the reason for this is due to engine failure. And when I asked him, you know, what's going to happen with the plane, this is what we're looking at. You can see the plane just sitting there on the water. He said, what's next for the plane is they're actually going to be getting sandbags, and so that way they can float the plane so they can get it onto a ramp, and that's really going to be the next steps. He said with this case, it's really important, it's really great that, you know, both of the males that were in here, that they're okay, there's no injuries. He says because this is often not the case. When they responded, they got here in about 15 minutes, which is really fast. We just walked down here again, lots of debris, lots of thorns, lots of mud. He says, but 15 minutes could be life or death. So luckily, this really ended up okay. But I'm going to continue to update you as we learn more on this investigation. For now, though, I want to send it back to you in the studio. Plane crash today at Cedar Creek Lake. This is what is left. Tonight at 10, I'm going to give you details regarding the pilot and the passenger and what the effects of this are. Rob, Tricia, that's all right. I've been here all day. I know it's dark now, but take a walk with me and you can see it is nothing but trees. It is woods behind here, and it is, I can say firsthand, a long walk to get to the lake where the plane did crash. Now, there's debris, there's sand, there's thorns, there's mud, which is why it took responders more time to get there. But thankfully, both of the passengers are safe and okay.
All we heard was just engine noises.
Dustin Sutherland works from home, and today he was alarmed by the crash he heard.
Fire trucks and everybody running down the road, which is weird because it's a dead end. It ends right at the lake, and there's nothing ever that happens out here.
He only lives about 6,000 feet away from where the crash took place. Sergeant Robert Bird says they got a call around 4 p.m. that someone crashed into Cedar Creek Lake. Now, because of the woods, beaches, and the heavy rural area, it took 15 minutes for responders to arrive.
But 15 minutes is life or death. That is a very long time.
He says engine failure was the reason the pilot needed to think twice.
They were over to the lake with engine failure. They were unable to get to a wide open area. To make the decision to put it in water means it happened without any warning.
We didn't know until one of the neighbors called us and said, yeah, actually a plane crashed in the lake.
Sutherland says they're used to hearing planes fly by all the time, but nothing ever like this.
We never ever think about it. We always wave at them as they fly over.
Sergeant Bird says he's seen many of these crashes end in fatality.
The landing gear, once it caught the water, flipped the plane over and spun it around.
He adds that because of the experience of the pilot, good weather, and a little bit of luck, both the pilot and the passenger were okay.
They were in shock. They were in shock, but thankful to be alive.
Sergeant Bird tells me that they were transported to Waynesville EMS, where they've already been released. Again, very thankful that they are safe and they are okay. Of course, we are going to keep you updated as this investigation does continue.
We had a female that was struck and unfortunately passed away. Family, no one has been notified yet. This all happened within the last half hour, very quick. I actually was the first one on the scene, rode up on the scene right after it occurred. Some good Samaritans. She was shot, struck another vehicle, came to a stop. Some good Samaritans went to help her, broke the window out of her car to get her out. When I arrived, the other officers, a couple officers arrived at the same time, started CPR on her immediately. She was taken to the hospital and has since been pronounced dead.